Singapore's falling birth rate has been a source of worry for the government. In order to encourage Singaporeans to have more children, married fathers are now entitled to 1 week government-paid paternity leave and the option to take a week's leave from mom's 4-month paid maternity entitlement. While this is a step in the right direction, it pales in comparison to Sweden's 16 months parental leave system, which encourages families to grow. With a relatively high fertility rate by European standards of around 2, the Swedish model has been studied by many countries facing falling birth rates, including Singapore. Now I'm here in Stockholm, Sweden to speak to Swedish parents and ministers to find out more about the Swedish system and how it compares to Singapore.
If you're only at home until they are like 4 months, then they are really small. They haven't started to walk and crawl, things like that. I think it's good to be at home with them when they are a little bit, so you get to know them. And maybe also to raise them as you want to, because you are the mother and the father. You want to decide how this child would be. If you leave him or her, the child, to someone else, it's up to them to raise them when you are at work quite a long time during the days.
I think it's difficult just to take the Swedish system and implement it somewhere else. You have to have a people that you have to have a big trust for government, big trust for other people, a big trust that you pay your tax and you get something in return. So people, generally want to pay their tax and are happy about that system.
But there is a trade-off. Swedes pay some of the highest taxes in the world, an average income tax of 30%, with higher income earners paying between 50 to 60% through a combination of local government and state income tax. In Singapore, the highest rate of individual tax is 20%.
For a long time we felt that we have high taxes. They are too high. Of course, everybody feels they have too high taxes. But we have felt that we get a lot for our taxes. We'll get a lot back. Right now, I think the feeling is that we're not getting so much back, and we are getting behind. We used to have, I think, the best medical care and so on in the world. We don't have that anymore.
Ironically, Sweden also has a relatively high divorce rate despite their pro-family efforts. 1 in 2 marriages ends in divorce according to Eurostat.
My personal view is that the more mothers and fathers share parental leave schemes, the better it is. For men who actually learns that kid responsibility is also for them. And in a society where more or less half of all relationships and marriages actually end up in broken relationships, it is obvious of absolute necessity for men to be able to take care of kids themselves.
Aside from parental leave, Swedish parents also receive child allowances of around $200 per child per month till he or she reaches the age of 15. Keep watching Razor TV as we bring you more stories from Sweden, including how their system allows dads an average of 4 to 6 months parental leave to share childcare duties with the moms.